Once again, yes, welcome to Relationship Anarchy, having those uncomfortable conversations. So I'm going to go over the philosophy of relationship anarchy. It's a little bit newer as far as the relationship stuff, however you want to say that. It was started in like 2006, so newer. And then I'm going to have a practical portion of it at the end with improv skills because I believe in improv and actually using it as a practical skill. But for you guys in the Zoom, you won't be able to see that part. So I'll go over the relationship like tenets of relationship anarchy, and then I'll say why improv's good, and then we'll do like a little break for like 5 minutes, and then you guys can ask questions during that time, the Zoom people. But we'll have to cut off the Zoom. Just if people want to actually come in and participate, if they don't want to be on camera, we'll do that. For my two whole people that are here, if they're cool with that, then we'll work on that. But in general, we're going to cut off the camera just in case other people come in, just so everybody on the Zoom chat knows. All right. A little bit about me. I go by Julius Marquise, HH Julius, HH underscore Julius on FetLife. And you can just say James too. This is my government name. I know a lot of people are particular about that. I use Julius more as like a persona. If anybody knows about the Carl Jung stuff, I'm very nerdy, as you can see. So we'll get very technical, but feel free to just ask questions. Just put your hand up, and then in between slides, I'll answer any questions that you have. If I spout out something you've never heard before, feel free to ask. I love talking about all that stuff, and I love getting nerdy. So the number one goal is to inspire thought. So I don't care about being right or wrong. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an asshole, that whole entire thing. So I don't want to say I don't care. I'm not worried about your opinion, so to speak. I want everybody to be like self-aware and introspective with all of this. So this is a philosophy. First of all, if nobody knows what a philosophy is, there's philosophies, there's theories, and there's like laws. So philosophers just want you to think. That's what I would hope you guys do. And then also feel free to do your research afterwards. And then there are theories like attachment theory that's hasn't been proven yet. In order for a theory to become a law, which is like the law of gravity, you have to be able to replicate it. You have to be able to have somebody else be able to experiment with it at least 3 times, and then eventually becomes a law. So we're way back in philosophy. So there's no right or wrong. You get to pick and choose. I like to say relationship anarchy is a la carte. So you can choose what you want to do, just like a kink. You can choose which kinks you want to do and which ones you don't. We're not kink shaming here. Your kink is not my kink, but that's okay too. So if you don't agree with some, I've had people say that with the tenets of relationship anarchy, feel free to not use it or to test it out later. I'm 100% experimental. So I like to test the things out, use what I think works for me in my relationships with my partners, and leave the rest. So I just want to say that going in. It is a philosophy. There's no absolutes with any of this. If you are a Redditor like I am, it's very funny to see people's questions. Like, is this ethical? It's like, does it work for you? Every time I'm yelling at my computer, it's like, does it work for you? This is a philosophy. Nothing is set in stone. All right. And a little background with me in the kink space. I've been coming to the woodshed for like over 10 years now. Really old. As far as I'm concerned. So I've been doing kink. I came to the woodshed like 2 years after I went out into the community and started practicing kink. I've been polyamorous for about 4 or 5 years now. There's this whole entire, worldwide thing that happened that kind of forced us to stay inside. So I kind of lost a couple of years. So I have to keep thinking back like the last 5 years because I forgot them. So yeah, it's been 4 or 5 years. And then I found Relationship Anarchy like 2 years afterwards. After that, and then solo polyamory, and then doing the whole queer journey now too. So that's a little bit newer. So that's what I just want to say as my background as far as that's concerned. Let's see here. And I recently learned about improv. So I've been doing that for about 2 years now. If anybody doesn't know, I'm not really doing like promotion right now, but the Woodshed does have an improv group that performs on the first Thursday of every month. So we just had it a couple of days ago. So improv is very newer to me, but I feel like that's where I was supposed to be in the first place. And going through the classes of improv, it just really resonated with me. Like these are practical skills that you can use for everything. Relationships, romantic relationships, family relationships, workplace relationships. And I hope you take the tenets of relationship anarchy into those relationships because I'm a firm believer that it is an umbrella term. So it doesn't matter if you're monogamous, non-monogamous, whatever like you decide to identify with. Relationship anarchy is 100% for you and it can be used that way if you wanted to. So I enjoy that. And then the second half is the improv. So actually not improv comedy that everybody knows a lot about, but there's called improvisation. Improv, yeah, I can speak. Improvisation, that one. You can actually use it for theater, and it doesn't have to be about comedy. So I want to use the practical skills of improv and what I learned in class in order to hammer down these skills if you want to, and have those uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into it. Relationship anarchy. Philosophy, like I said, challenges traditional assumptions about relationships, emphasizes autonomy, consent, and personal freedom, rejects predefined rules, and you can define your own relationship dynamics. So it was coined by Andy Norgren back in 2006 up in Europe. Okay, so overall pillars of the manifesto, there's 9. I can count, I think, yes. First is abundance and uniqueness, letting go of the relationship script, knowing yourself, define the default, unplanned habit happens, fake it, and then physics aren't real, or psychics aren't real, sorry. Use your words and a la carte, all right? So these are overall, and then I'm going to break them down going throughout this presentation. And then what else are we talking about? Again, improv, made up scenes, dialogue, and characters on the spot. It helps you develop communication skills, creative problem solving, and use in psychotherapy for thoughts, feelings, and relationships. I was like gonna raise my hand. You guys can do it too. I was like, maybe it'll be like 8 people, but I'm a very much a active listener. So I like to take polls in when I do speaks or talks like this. So anybody know that therapists actually recommend improv and kink for therapeutic practices? Yeah, so people are actually now recommending kink as a therapeutic. So the difference between therapy and therapeutic is therapy has to be done with a licensed professional, but you can do things for yourself like listening to music, going on a walk outside, doing kink as a therapeutic practice to help unstress and hopefully like work on those depression symptoms, all those bad stuff that you have going on. So it's a release. And also improv is a release as well, because you are actually going socially with the group. Usually you go do improv with a group of people. There is a thing called solo improv, but ask me later about that. That's a nerd thing. But usually you're going out within a group and you're just like letting your raw emotions on stage. So you don't have a script like with most other scripted, so like acting, stand-up comedy, sketch, like SNL and stuff like that. You don't have a script when you're doing improv in general. So it's a freeing notion, freeing practice for everybody to participate in. So that is a reason why I wanted to blend these two together, and also like very freeing for me when I came into kink. I was like, ooh, this is who I am. And then years later, I got into improv. I'm like, ooh, this is what I am. This reminds me of this thing I've been doing for over 10 years. So that's why I love the improv. Okay, why these two together? Once again, relationships take work and you will make mistakes. You will make mistakes. You will make mistakes. You will make mistakes. We all make mistakes in relationships. Guess what? Improv celebrates mistakes. If anybody has any experience with improv, what is the first thing that happens in an improv class?
Expect the unexpected.
That is one of the things. Yes, and
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah.
yes, and but also these are all correct. But another thing that really hit home to me and actually got me a little bit emotional is when you make a mistake, everybody claps. Everybody claps. That is one thing that hit home with me, is like the whole point of improv is to have fun, and you will make mistakes. But guess what? Everybody claps, and then you go back and you do it again, or you do something different. You move on, basically. So I hope everybody knows at some point, and I'll keep reiterating this, that when you make mistakes, welcome in. Hello. I know you.
Yeah.
We're getting into why improv and relationships and relationship anarchy works well together. So one big thing, mistakes will happen. Improv, we celebrate mistakes. So hopefully you're not doing too bad. Don't cause bodily harm to people that you're in a relationship with. Don't break any laws, but you're going to make mistakes. And guess what? Mistakes are good. So says Julius and a lot of certified professionals. But hopefully we will learn from these mistakes. And I think you can do it with improv. So we're going to make mistakes in this, especially for the people that are newer to relationship anarchy or other types of relationships. So little back history. If you guys don't know, most people think that monogamy is like prevalent. and based in like anthropological stuff. And I know it's like a big thing right now. The majority practice monogamy, but if you talk to an anthropologist, guess what? Polyamory was number one before we got into the hierarchy and patriarchy. Because when we wanted to own land, we took it away from the natives. We wanted to own everything, including our spouses. So
Also, can it also be attributed to religious influence?
there's a bunch of things. We could go deep into that. That's a whole nother lecture right there. I just wanted everybody to know that we've been lied to. Welcome. Come back. Yes.
Sorry, I did wrong.
No, you're good. It's kink time. This is recorded. Okay, so we're gonna go after we talk about why relationship anarchy and improv go together. Let's talk about relationship anarchy. Number one, love is abundant and every relationship is unique. And I will say, even with yourself. So hopefully everybody understands this, that you have a relationship to yourself first. I'm just gonna say it, good or bad. I'm very selfish because I worry about my well-being before I can help others. You know, they have this whole thing on an airplane. They give that speech that says when the mask drops down, put it on yourself before you put it on somebody else. So just think of like relationship anarchy as a emergency system where you drop a mask and you put it on yourself first. Because, you know, they like to say, if you can't love yourself, how can you love other people? So here we go. There it is right there. Love is abundant and unique. Love isn't a scarce resource. Every relationship is one of a kind. No need to rank or replicate. Ooh, this comes to my number one point here. Yes.
May I ask you what I missed? Because I arrived about 30 minutes late, and this class is really important for me because I'm not looking for a drama and things like this.
Okay.
We have recordings of it, and we can get you connected with a recording after if you'd like.
Also,
thank you.
I'm going to go through all the tenets of relationship anarchy and a little bit about the improv, but we're going to take a break after that. Feel free to ask me questions then. But yeah, check the recordings, and then I'll put like a little quick slide thing together for everybody that's on. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So number one thing that is like a pet peeve of mine is comparative languages. I don't know if what everybody's experience is here, but I did say in the beginning, I've been polyamorous for 4 years. The worst thing you can do is compare your partners to other partners. Let's not do that. We all have friends. Do we compare our friends with other friends? Some of us have children. I know there's the thing like, oh, favorites, whatever. Yeah, sure, you have a favorite child, but let's not compare anybody that we're close to with other people. So I hate superlatives, and I hate like, oh, what's your number one list? Me, myself. I hate it in general when it comes to like movies and TV shows, and I definitely hate it when it comes to relationships. Let's not put like, oh, this partner does this, but this one doesn't. Ooh, gross. Let's not do that. And then also, love isn't a scarce resource. How many people believe in the bucket system? If anybody knows what I'm talking about, the bucket system. So a lot of people like to think that love is a finite resource. You have a bucket. I would argue that you have an energy bucket. Again, Carl Jung talks about libido. It's not a sexual energy. It's your personal energy. What motivates you to do something? Love, to me, and to a lot of people, is an overall resource. There's no like, I love this person more than this person. You have a whole lot to give. So a lot of us, particularly in this community, have multiple partners for different kinds, dynamics, romantic, whatever. But there's different kinds of love. It's not a pie chart. There's not like, oh, I have this person A that I give 25% of my love to. No, it's an overall love bucket. You have enough love equally for everybody in your life. And I would argue that it's not scarce so much as like for one person or another. You might have a low energy day. You might just be tired, had a long work day or something like that. But let's not just prioritize one person over another. That's what one of the main tenets here. Love is abundant, every relationship is unique. Okay, love and respect instead of entitlement. Shift from entitlement, aka supposed to respect and choice. Avoid shoulds and musts in love. I don't know about anybody else, but I never really had the birds and beasts talk. I never had it. I'm Asian. I'm part Asian. So we kind of just like, oh yeah, you go and put the thing in the person and don't get them pregnant. That's pretty much the whole entire, that's it right there. I just told you about the Asian thing. That's my personal experience in general anyway. So I had to go out and learn by making mistakes that there's no entitlement in relationships. I thought, especially when I was in monogamy, that every relationship had to lead to marriage. I just assumed that. I was a young child and didn't realize that I could tailor my relationships and have a conversation with my partners and figure out what they want too. Maybe they didn't want kids or marriage. You never know. Back in my day, my younger years, back in ancient times, it was just assumed that everybody was going to have kids, the white picket house and the fence and everything like that. And it didn't happen until later on when I found kink and then all the different types of relationships. Like, oh, I don't have to have kids if I don't want kids. That kind of thing. So let's take all the entitlement and the supposed to out of it. And I myself do not like gender norms or gender stereotypes, like barefoot in the kitchen, that kind of thing. Is like you can have a conversation with your partner and discuss what you guys both want. Okay. And for me, especially, it's very I've had to learn that big lesson myself because I was going into these assumptions into relationships and come to find out my partner didn't want anything like that at all. So let's take that out of there. That's one of the big tenets here is get that entitlement out of there, the assumptions out of there, and have a conversation. How many people negotiate most of everything in their relationships, either going in, during, maybe even after?
Kind of, yeah. I've had roommates negotiated with that.
Okay, good. Yes, that's a good point. Those count too.
Excuse me, what kind of relationship?
Okay, so yes, at the beginning, quick overview, relationship anarchy is an overall philosophy. So it counts for monogamous relationships, non-monogamous relationships, romantic relationships, friendships. So any kind of relationship, just like.
Because one relationship is a life partner. We are living in a same house every day, every night.
If that's what you consider, yeah.
Some of it is a little bit long distance, just with DMs or once a week meeting.
Yes, all of it. Yeah,
every relationship.
So just like they pointed out, roommates, that counts. I'm considering romantic relationships, friendships, family ships. You should have a negotiate with everybody.
It's very complicated to answer.
Yeah. So yep, and that's why we're here. Ask me questions about this any single time. I'll get very specific if you want to. But I believe in general, you should negotiate everything. And guess who you should negotiate first with? Yourself. There you go. So does everybody have a needs wants list?
A needs wants list.
Does anybody have a
yeah
boundary list?
A what?
A boundary list?
No, yeah.
Yeah. Anybody have that for themselves?
Oh, like I will not accept inner critic self-talk.
Yep, that's 100% something you can 100%. Yep. Yep, that's 100% of the. I laugh because I'm self-deprecating, but I am a comedian, so I use it for comedy. That's a varying spectrum as well. But yes, 100%. You should have a needs wants list, and you should have it written down. I hope you have it somewhere on like a cloud drive or something, because that should be edited all the time. So says Julius. My subjective opinion. Yeah, there's a yeah. First, we got to start doing that. A lot of people do not have that, and they're going to find other people to join them. Yes.
Excuse me, about the previous slide, I have one question.
Yep.
What do you mean by shifting or changing perspective?
Changing perspective from like gender norms, anything that you learned as a child, really, you should question all those. But in that case, I'm specifically talking about the assumptions that people made, like, oh, you're a man, oh, you're a woman, you should be doing this. No. Everybody can cry.
Do you mind going back to previous?
Yeah, real quick.
Because I have lost some questions. Practicing shifting perspective and accepting change.
Yes.
It depends what changes. For example, right now I'm single and I don't have any commitment with anybody. But
congratulations. I would say that's the best time to work. I found my most inner work, like anything about myself, I found when I was single.
After my marriage, if the woman coming and say to me, I like swinging or I like open relationship.
Yeah.
I don't understand about things practice shifting perspective. What perspective?
Your perspective. What do you think about open relationships? What do you think about swinging?
I think if it starts after marriage, the marriage will break after that.
Okay. That was also like a introspective rhetorical question too, because for me, if you ask me that question now compared to next week, it could change. So these are the kind of questions that you should be having with yourself. If I meet somebody and they're into, oh God, I just had a flashback of all kinds of some, I don't know, anal. Let's just say that. Let's just be super hyperbolic. Anal. Do you know how you feel about anal? Exactly. See, right there, that mind thing right there, that's 100% something you should have. And if nobody knows, there's actually like a kink list, and anal is one of them. It's like 6 pages. The one I saw, I don't know if the Woodshed has anything like that. There's literally there's a list. There's like 6 pages. You literally go through pretty much all the popular kinks.
Okay, but when the third person coming inside the marriage, it's getting really complicated.
Well, see, that depends on your definition because I'm poly, so there's always multiple people in there. And guess what? Every time, even if I'm single, I do a negotiation list with myself. When somebody new comes in, I have a negotiation with them. And then when somebody new comes in, I have a negotiation with my current partner about the new partners. And I have an ongoing thing like, you know what? When somebody new comes in, I'll give you this much information because we all have different kinds of information that we want to share. Another thing you should have a negotiation with yourself about because TMI is a thing and it's very stressful. Let's not trigger our partners with TMI. Just a PSA for myself. But all these questions you're asking, 100%, you should have these with yourself before anybody else is involved. So once again, I'm going to clap that you're single right now because you're coming out here to learn about all these different things. And this is 100% something we should be asking ourselves. So I like your questions because it's exactly what we should be doing right now. And I hope it inspires people.
Also, like if I can give an example of shifting perspectives. So like when I first came into BDSM about like 8 months ago or so, I was convinced that I was hard set on monogamy. But like after learning a little bit more about polyamory, like I've started considering it. Like I'm still not sure, but so like I would still need to like explore that with a partner.
100%.
But it's something I'm open to now. So
100%.
Does
anybody know what snapping means? Anybody like spoken word or acting or anything like that? Yeah, it's like an improv thing. That means we agree. So 100%. Yes. I did the same thing when I like, oh, non-monogamy is a thing? Oh, I've been doing kink for so long. What have I been fucking no? All right, next tenet. Find your core set of relationship values. Again, you should have a needs wants list. You should have a boundary list. Define your personal values and stick to them. Negotiable. Consent and self-knowledge guide your choices. A reason why I say stick to them is like everybody has a soft limit list. Hopefully everybody knows what soft limits are. So it depends on who the partner is. So that's why I say stick to them because it's like, if you have hard limits, stick to those, but like soft limits, it really depends. Like the anal thing on my soft limit list. So it depends on the partner. So not so hard, steadfast, but everybody should have that list together. Self-knowledge guides your choices. So everybody knows what prick. They talked about BDSM 101. I think everybody is at that point in time. Personal, responsible, informed. Self-knowledge. Hopefully, if you're doing something either sexually, kinkily, or relationshiply, you know what you're talking about, at least enough to say, I don't know what I'm talking about, person A or person B, or if you're having an orgy, I don't know, person 10, be like, I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but if we can together explore this, that's 100% a thing. I know for me, I love exploring new stuff with new people. As you can see, I'm up here talking, so I like hearing myself talk, and I love talking about all these different things. So please get the knowledge, and please do not assume that I know everything that I'm talking about. I hope that doesn't come off as like arrogant or anything like that, or if I'm up here speaking that I know everything about relationship anarchy, because I do not. Also, it is very new, so if you do any research with it, there's not a whole lot of classes or anything right now. There's pretty much the tenets of Andy's paper, not a whole lot more than that. Because it is 100% a philosophy, like I said, so you should be using it for yourself. But go and get that knowledge. Come back to BDSM 101 and they might teach you more. Or a class like this. Oh, God. Heterosexism is rampant, but do not let fear lead you. Do not let heteronormity or fear dictate your life. Live boldly, build creatively. Words. I'm so triggered by the heteronormity and the cis. Anyways, it's a thing. However you feel about it, there is facts that heteronormity is rampant, and just, generalization, most people are heteronorm. heterosexual. Yeah, I would argue for myself, especially from my experience, that a lot of people just don't know about different things. I know I just recently learned about smut, for example, in the last couple of years. I didn't know what it was before 2 years ago. I've been kiki for over 10 years. Figure that out in your head. So I was very much like you said before, with monogamy and like finding out about non-monogamy. I was like, those people crazy. And I'm over here preaching polyamory. I'm like, those people nuts. But then when I actually had a conversation with some polyamorous friends and I learned some new things, oh, you should communicate with all your partners. Oh, you shouldn't hide your relationships from your partners because that's considered cheating. You can cheat in polyamory. Yes, you can. Yep. That's 100% a thing. So yeah, I was very much stuck in my heteronormative thinking and not realizing, oh, this little part of my brain was like, something's wrong. And it's because I just didn't have knowledge of it. I was like, oh, solo polyamory. There's different types of non-monogamy. So I had to go in and learn about all the different kinds of non-monogamy. And I was like, okay, this one fits for me. And I kind of landed in the solo polyamory-ish lifestyle. But yeah, there's so much more.
Yeah. A question about solo poly, right?
Mhm.
So is it impossible to cheat in a solo polyamory
Oh
thing?
my gosh.
Or
I want to answer that question, but we're going to stick to relationship anarchy. But talk to me at some point because I know I see you outside of stuff. We will have a conversation about that.
okay.
And the fear. So the fear is 100% a thing, and this is why I had this conversation. I introduced the improv in there. Now that we have more people, hopefully you guys will stick around for the improv part of it. But how many people fear the unknown? I've heard the term fear the unknown. You just are scared of what you don't know. I hate deep water. You don't know what the fuck's out there, and it's dark. So you won't see me scuba diving in the deep sea, but I'll think about it. But 100%, we fear what we don't know. So let's work on it here. This is why we have the practical skills. How many people in a relationship, after you get to know somebody, just tell your partners or however many, all the little dark shit that you have in your head? Wow, right off the bat, right? Months? Are we talking like months, years?
Oh, weeks.
Minutes?
Wow, all this shit?
No, not all this.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying there. Okay, yes. Why do we not? This is a rhetorical question. Maybe because we fear their actions.
Judgments, shame.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and this is why I wanted
Yeah.
to talk about this. Let's. So baby steps. Let's work towards being able to be open with your partners. Because if you're getting judged by your partners, why are you with that person? If they're gonna judge you for it, just yeah.
Excuse me, about your question, you asked, do you have any fear about the unknown things? But something that I learned about kinks and BDSM. BDSM and kinks means playing with fire.
Mm-hmm.
So it means we know what we are doing.
I would hope.
Playing with fire, and sometimes maybe the fire can burn our skins too.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes, everything is unknown about, especially about the partners, potential partner.
Yeah.
For a long term, yes, everything is unknown, and it takes time to get to know somebody.
Yeah. 100%. And hopefully with these practices at the end, you have an easier conversation with that. Okay. Build for the lovely unexpected. This is great. Oh my gosh. Relationship anarchy needs real tools, communication, self-reflection, and community. How many people know there's Reddit? Reddit is a thing. Do you know that there's relationship anarchy subreddit?
I can imagine there's a subreddit for everything.
That is correct. There's over like 1,000, 4,000, I don't even know how many, but relationship anarchy is great. There's always posting in there every day. There's always questions answered. I know people have a polarizing reaction to Reddit. I myself love it because not because of the post, because people were asked the same doggone questions every single time, but because of the comments, because somebody will answer their question usually. And sometimes people will just post the answer from something else. It's like, you didn't search the Reddit, but I just love it because you get all kinds of different stories and you get all kinds of different answers and questions that you never would have even thought of. And for me, I know I like to date because you never know who you're going to come across and what their experiences are. So I actually love the conversation you have when you go on a first date with somebody, or you're just talking to somebody on the first time, either in person on FetLife or like a dating app or whatever. I love those conversations because you never know what's going to happen. But let's try not to judge. Okay. So hopefully you use some of these communication tools that I'm talking about now and later, that you will not have judgments with people, realize that validation is the thing. Everybody has their own experiences. Just because you don't necessarily agree with it, once again, please, let's not judge our partners for their experiences. Everybody has a thing too, but you know what? You all can have a negotiation and figure out where your line is together. Okay, fake it till you make it. How many people have heard that before? Yeah, fake it till you make it. Does anybody know what it means? Anybody care to share? I mean, people in the Zoom can answer too.
Yeah, so basically fake it till you make it is where you where you kind of like pretend that you know that you're able to do this thing, but you really don't. But the more that you repeat the process of that thing, the better you'll get at it.
Yes, I would agree with most of it. The pretending part is a little of it, but definitely the second half. Say, for example, you come to a BDSM dungeon for the first time. Are you kinky at that point?
Yeah. Because you showed up.
You can.
Either that or the militaurist.
Yeah. I have this question with myself all the time. If I haven't done kink in like 6 months, am I kinky still?
Oh, yeah, I would say that. Yeah, for sure.
Very subjective. You see, not everybody just answered right away, though.
If you showed up to a BDSM dungeon, you're at least a voyeur.
Just the one time, but as we all know, some people maybe have been in the
practicing.
Want to learn something.
Yeah.
Or they'll show up just to get different perspectives.
So by that logic,
I think that what it is it's a consciously showing up and being like, hey, I'm putting on this thing of like, I'm just gonna go do it. And if I keep doing this thing, then it's going to get easier the more that I do it because I put myself out there doing it.
and for those of us that have been here a long time, how many of us have friends that like leave kink or come back to kink? Are those people not kinky anymore because they left kink?
That word you keep it philosophy too.
Oh, guess what? These answers are all correct. Ah, tricked y'all. Haha. You fell into my trap card. Anybody?
But then I don't know, because like there's one person that I know who comes here specifically for the safe space aspect of and they're trans, but I don't know if trans is kinky. Like maybe, I don't know. I guess it's a different way of gender expression, but and also depends on how you define kink, but they don't do like any kink activities or anything when they come here.
How many people know somebody that says they're kink, but they don't do a specific thing? Like I know kinky people that don't like impact. Are they more or less kinky than anybody else? I know kink people that don't like to be bound, rope, anything, and they only want impact. Are they more or less kinky than other people?
No.
There you go. So these are all questions we should be asking ourselves and then not judging our partners for, but fake it till you make it to me, which is it's not right. Yes, it was right. For me, it's so I'm newer to something, like the kink thing. I'm gonna go to a dungeon because I don't know. But guess what? Because I'm in a dungeon, therefore I'm kinky to most people. So I'm gonna go to the dungeon for a class or something like that. And you know what? I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm here. So that means I'm willing to learn. See how that works? And then we try different things, and eventually we get good at those things. I don't know about anybody else, but when I first used the flogger, I hit all kinds of body parts. There's a sheet over here with red and yellow and green areas on there. I didn't know anything about that. Don't hit the kidneys. What? I'm not in the medical field. I didn't know that. And also like a flogger, there's ways to hit it where you can, I've seen somebody get flogged in the face and it doesn't really do any damage. Face flogging is 100% of the thing. I've seen it here and other places. I didn't know that you could do that. But I
would probably
here.
have to be a really soft flogger, wouldn't it?
There's practices and somebody can teach that. Integrity shows up in how we behave, try new things, even awkwardly. So once again, so all the different things I talked about, the kink, the polyamory, the improv, all that stuff, queer, all those different things, you have to take a step forward in order to learn. You're going to make mistakes. So you can research everything, find all the different terms, look at the whole tenets of the whole entire thing. But until you actually try it, are you actually doing it?
That's why we are here, trying new things.
Yes, trying new things. So to me, fake it till you make it is good if you don't actually use it. Like if you're going out there arrogantly, then yes, it's bad. But to me, I actually like the term fake it till you make it. That means you're trying to do something, and then eventually you'll find how you relate to that. Like if I don't go out there and make mistakes, how do I know if I like something or not? Anybody, skills are a thing. I used to play basketball. Don't anymore because I'm too old. But I mean, you have to go out there, lose a couple times, and eventually you actually get better and you start winning. So similarly to kink and everything else, you have to try it first. Trust is better. Please tell me we all have somebody we trust in our lives. I hope we've had relationships with people that we trust.
Yes, family members.
Yes, but hopefully we have at some point a relationship where we trust the person. This one kind of speaks for itself. Transparency is more powerful than guessing games.
Yeah. I'll get there soon.
Yeah, we're all working on something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, transparency, once again, let's get rid of the assumptions. You can say whatever experience you have. At one point, I was a virgin. I don't know about anybody else. I was a virgin at once. So. How many told the person that they were trying to unvirginitize themselves with that they were a virgin? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I haven't asked anyone yet, but yeah, I'm still a virgin.
Yeah. I don't know, but fast forward to now, there's a huge question on the Reddits. It's like, should I tell people I'm into kink? Should I tell people I'm poly when I'm first talking to them for the first time?
No. At the first time, no.
Ooh.
Because you will lose your connection.
That's an
But-
opinion. Ah.
But do you want that connection if they're not gonna accept
E.
all of you?
That's a question right there. That doesn't have a right or wrong answer.
I believe step by step, not in the first moment and in the first conversation.
How many of us have FetLife profiles? How many put all their business on FetLife profiles?
Wait, business?
Oh yeah, your business. All your business. All the business, whatever.
Okay,
You-
yeah. I do have my fetish list.
Okay, that counts too. I'm all of it. How many have messaged or been messaged by someone that had their business out, and that's the first thing you saw and never saw their face? Yeah, right here. I've had plenty of long-term partners where the first thing I saw was their boobs. I was like, oh,
With their boobs, but without face.
correct. Yep, and I was with them for like 2.5 years. But trust makes every relationship better. I will say that. I don't care if nobody agrees with me. I 100% believe that trust makes any relationship better. Again, romantic, dynamic, family, anything, work. If I don't trust you, I definitely can't love you. I'll tell you that right now. So that's in there, but is it obvious? I feel like it's a tenet in the philosophy, but it's like, okay, yes. Change through communication. Good communication isn't about being perfect. Ugh. Another one of Julius's trigger words is that stupid perfect thing, perfect partner. Bleh. Where's this made up fairyland that we were raised in where perfect partner exists? Ride the waves together. I would argue if you have a conflict with a partner, I believe resolving that conflict is better than, oh, they, I don't know, brought me flowers, or they fucked me in the right position, or they flogged me correctly. I believe long-term partners are definitely better once you can have a conflict, whatever scale it is, and work that out together. Some experts agree, the certified professionals and the ones with the diplomas and stuff like that. If you can survive a conflict with a partner, that relationship will be stronger in the end, especially if you have negotiations ahead of time and be like, oh, you want to have a serious conversation with me? Because I'm in comedy and I'm always cracking jokes. We need to have it in the bedroom, on the bed with nothing on, so I won't be distracted, because also neurospicy, shocker. So how many people negotiate that?
Negotiate where to have difficult conversations?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
haven't thought about that.
Yeah. How many people have partners that like to talk to them while the TV show's on or a movie? I watch a lot of anime. I have partners that are not necessarily in anime, but I'll be watching like last half of the show and they'll be like, oh, I did this and this and this was a highly emotional situation happened to me. I'm like, the TV's on. Why are you talking to me now? I literally have to tell partners when we were first talking, do not talk to me when the TV's on. If you have a line of a conversation, it needs to be inside the house, because I'm an introvert, so anything outside will distract me, and preferably on the bed, because anybody know what a mind palace is? I know I'm jumping it everywhere. Mind palace?
Yeah.
Okay. I would hope everybody had this, please.
What's a mind palace?
So mind palace is where you can focus on your thoughts and like there can be introspection, there can be like deep philosophical thinking and just kind of like a place you go to get in the zone.
Yep.
Yeah, it would ideally be like a place that has low stimulus or low stimuli and just a place you can relax.
Yeah. It can be actually physically or metaphorically. If you do any kind of therapy and you do like something called EMDR, I don't know if anybody knows about that. The first thing they want you to do is to visualize a mind palace. And for me, it's my bed. So luckily I have a physical representation of it and a metaphorical. When I'm like, even out in a highly stressful situation, if I need to calm myself, first I breathe and then I think about me being in a bed, like up in the sky. I don't know, somewhere. And then I can center myself and hopefully be less triggered. But we should 100% figure out where you best receive information, especially when you have a serious conversation with a partner or partners. I literally tell partners that if you want to have a serious conversation with me and we want my 100% attention, we need to do it here. And if we're like driving down the street and they want to have a serious conversation, I'm like, I am half listening to you right now. One, because I'm driving, and two, I'm thinking about wherever we're going. If this is a social situation, you got like 25%. Because I'm psyching myself up with social energy to do what I need to do, wherever it is. I don't care if it's like with friends or just a social event. Even here, I will say, still a little bit triggered in any social situation. The grocery store. I literally go to the grocery store like 3 times a week. I still have to psych myself up because I'm an introvert. Please do not have a conversation with me if we're going to a social event or we're partaking in libations. That's the wildest thing, but it happens. Customize your commitments. You don't have to follow the scripts of dating, monogamy, and escalation. Build what fits you. Solo polyamory, relationship escalator. I want to blow that thing up. This is where customizing your commitments are coming in. I don't plan on having kids. Ish. I don't plan on living with anybody. Ish. I don't plan on sharing finances with anybody. Ish. I say ish. Anything's possible. Those are tenets of solo polyamory. But I'm going to customize that with my partners. Fortunately for me, I get lucky. Fortunate. The worlds have aligned where most of my partners don't plan on having kids either. It works out for me. I don't know if anybody's on the dating apps. I'm on a few of them. I'm on Field. There's a lot of people on there that don't want to have kids. And then they have in their profile, please swipe right or left, swipe left if you don't want to have kids. And it's like, wow, that's how polarizing it is. But we should 100% be able to do that. So what you were asking before, I put that I'm polyamorous on my profile. I say what I'm looking for specifically. Long-term partner, but I don't plan on living with you. Not a nesting partner. I put that on my damn profile. So first thing you see is pictures, and then right underneath that, what I'm looking for specifically. So that's something I do. You don't have to do that yourself, but I would argue I put all that shit out there. I'm kinky. I have a picture of somebody hasn't done rope in a while. Uplines on their profile pictures. And some of them have the background from in here. And guess what? I do find people, oh, I know where that is. And I'm like, oh, we can have a conversation. You already know that background. You've been here for a while. Okay, so those were the tenets. And here's more of the improv. So this is another reason, my argument why Relationship Anarchy is actually an improv scene. It works when you show up honestly, which is something they wanted you to do in improv, which I would argue you should do in relationships. Say yes to collaboration, I would say is a thing in improv and also a thing in relationships. Adapt and play. Once again, getting rid of those assumptions. You don't know who you're talking to. You get to know them a little bit better. They say a kick that you've never heard before. Let me look into that. Actually, you know what? I like that. Listen deeply. I hope we are listening to our partners, our family members. Please, please do not invalidate them by halfway paying attention. Remember what I said about Mind Palace? Figuring out where you can listen to them? Yeah. So, random tangent. Anybody else have a conversation with a partner and be like, oh, you said this, and you 100% remember exactly what they're talking about, or don't?
Well, kind of, yeah.
I have that all the time. They'll reference something from 2 years ago, and you said this, and I'm like, how in the, I don't remember saying that kind of thing. That's because I wasn't in my Mind Palace. We were in a very public event, and they took it very seriously. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, I was not listening deeply because we were not in our place. And then also, lastly, know your truth. This is, if you ever go to an improv class, which I hope you guys do, hopefully I influenced you to take an improv class at some point. one of the things they say is know your truth. Back to faking it until you make it. People will know when, one, you're insecure about something, or you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And the one way that comes out, two ways. First way is a relationship. 100%. I will guarantee, I will bet money on the fact that you have a partner and you try to hide something, they know at some point that you are hiding something. So if you're not being honest with yourself and with them, they'll know at some point. So hopefully you guys will take these lessons to heart. And also, if you ever do get on an improv class and you go on stage, if you are at any point hesitant, people from in the audience will be able to see that. I know from a fact that I got called out for it by a teacher. If you hesitate at all, they will know. And also, if you're like pausing when you get ready to talk, people will know that too. So please just know your truth and just speak from the heart. And then lastly, keep building the scene together. Hopefully you are collaborative in your relationships. That's something that I don't know if I have to actually say, but hopefully that's something that is happening. All right, so that was pretty much it for the tenets. This is me just being super philosophical. Anybody know or play video games, board games, or anything like that? Do you know why they're so popular with certain people?
Behavioral psychology.
That's a yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stimulation that you get from them.
Got it. All those
Like,
things.
Yeah.
To break it down really simply is game theory basics. Why are games so addictive? One, there's a set group of players. So anybody, Resident Evil, I don't know, Monopoly, whatever. You have a certain set of players, right? If you're playing Resident Evil, it's solo against the zombies. If you're playing Monopoly, it's 1 to 6 players. And the whole goal is to get properties and sell those players. So there's a set group of players. 2, there's rules in the games. Any of the games you have, Resident Evil, you're going to run out of bullets and you're probably going to get eaten a few times. Monopoly, somebody's going to go bankrupt. This is how it is. It might be like 6 years after you start the game. I don't know. But it just goes on forever. And there's also incentives. So beating the game, having the most money at the end, whatever. I would argue that game theory basics work in relationships. So number 1, players. Who are the players in the relationship? You and your partners. Or break it down, yourself. 2, what are the rules? I'm not going to cheat. We're going to do so-and-so sexual kink activity or social activities.
Or if we're playing Monopoly, we're going to go with totally made up rules.
You can do that yourself. That's the negotiation.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. There you go. Call back. Or I have partners that don't like to go to movie theaters. I'm an avid movie person, at least when it's like a Godzilla movie or a Marvel movie or something like that. But I have partners that don't know what any of that is. So I have the rules for that. We just do something else or negotiate some other thing. Incentives. Who doesn't like a good orgasm? I'm just saying. Yeah, I would argue if I have a good relationship, the orgasm gets better. Does anybody disagree with me?
No.
I would hope not. Anybody in the chat disagree with me? Do we have any questions or anything in the chat either?
No questions in the chat yet.
Okay.
I did let people know that they're welcome to drop questions, so.
Okay. All right. So you guys missed a lot, but feel free to ask me anytime. I know I've seen you all outside of just like a class or anything like that. Feel free to talk to me about any of this stuff. We will have the recording and some of the slides. But yeah, I like talking about all this stuff. So I will definitely nerd out in very specific questions. I like them. So feel free to ask me anything. But you're here in time for the improv part, which we're getting to. Game theory in life. What games are you playing in life? How does that apply to your relationships? And how does that apply to relationship anarchy? Stuff we should be asking ourselves. And I forgot the most important part, and I'm so sorry. There's actually a worksheet back there. I'm so sorry. Yes, I forgot to grab pins. We ran out of time and I had to get ready, and I'm so sorry. But I will put that up as well if you don't want to fill out a sheet. So better communication basics, which I would say is good for improv and in relationships, is validate first. Ask for a redo, and then also make it simple. Does anybody know what validation is in relationships or otherwise? Okay. Does anybody know the steps of validation? There's actually basic steps.
In relationship, I don't know.
And anywhere, you should, please don't invalidate. Please, I'm asking you something. Please do not invalidate people. That really sucks. So really quickly, number one step in validating somebody is being empathetic. I see you have a reaction this way, and I feel you. That's number one. Number two is make it relative to you. I've had a similar reaction to this thing as well, so I understand. So you're backing up what you first said. And then number three is offering a solution for their problem. So yeah, everybody has to deal with traffic. Everybody's had road rage before. They had a friend complain about road rage. So number one is I've had traffic issues too. I'm mad as well with you. I'm very monotone right now, but feel free to add emphasis and emotion with this. But I've had road rage as well. I am very upset by this. Is there anything I can do to help you with this whole entire thing? So I put all three together, but yeah, help. That's how we validate. And with a partner,
That
Can I
sounds
say
like,
something?
yes.
I was just gonna say, I think it's important to differentiate with validation that you don't have to agree or disagree with whatever's going on.
Correct.
You're just saying that you can see how or why this person feels the way they feel.
Correct.
Whether you agree or disagree,
Yes.
just that you see their perspective.
Yes. Empathy. Definitely showing empathy is number one.
yeah,
Okay.
and that sounds a lot like active
Listening.
listening, yeah.
Yes. 100%. I hear what you said and I have listened. And then ask for a redo. So anytime we can always edit ourselves. One thing that's good in relationships and in improv, which we'll show you later, you can always be like, you know what, I messed that up. I apologize. I'll try not to do it again. And why don't we just go ahead and just run through that again? So we had an argument or something. You were the first one to show emotion. Technically, you lost that argument according to the experts. So you know what? You can be like, give me like a 1 minute redo. Let me breathe, and we'll just start the whole conversation over again. You can 100% do that in relationship. Probably want to do it in a high stressful situation. For me, that's a social situation. I'd be like, we're gonna have to do this at home again. We'll figure this out for now, but later on, we're gonna have to redo this whole conversation. I 100% do that with partners. And then also make it simple. Let's try to, kiss, keep it simple. So forth. Whatever S you want to put in there. A lot of times we like to overcomplicate things. And you're like, oh, you didn't do the dishes, and then this, and then that, and didn't take out the garbage. You know what? I had to fire somebody today at work. That's why I forgot. I mean, people have done that. Just been like, you know what? I took a self-reflecting moment right now, and this is why I didn't do the basics. Okay, keeping it simple. Very good in communication. Very good in relationship. Very good in improv. This is a smorgasbord, and another thing I'll put on it's in the slides as well. I know most people can't really see this, but this is all the different types of relationship anarchy relationships. So it's very blurry, but legal, financial, communication, public displays of affection, kink, power exchange, co-givers. This is all the stuff you can negotiate with a partner. So I don't know if anybody, I don't have nesting partners, but I have had power of attorney talks with certain partners. Anybody ever done that before?
Yep.
Oh, fascinating. Yeah, that's one of those things you probably want to put on a need wants list and a boundary list. What's the medical contact? Has anybody done that with partners? Yeah.
Power of attorney.
Yeah, in case of emergency contacts with that, solo polyamory, but I still have that conversation with partners. Again, a la carte. The hardcore fundamentalist solo polyamory people will probably look down on that, but I still do that because that's something I need at some point. Randomly. Never mind. Another relationship anarchy worksheet, which I'll put on as well. So this breaks it down even more. What you need, domestic, caregiver, financial, labels. Ooh, anybody had that label conversation with partners before and that go wrong? Oh, good Lord. See, for me, partner, and then I like to say them friend. I want to coin that term, them friend. So boyfriend, girlfriend, or other, a them friend. But I talked to somebody where their experience was backwards. So I'm calling them partner and they're getting all offended. I'm like, what is the problem? It's like, no, I have girlfriend and boyfriends first before I have a partner. It's like, where did you learn that from? Oh, somebody I was talking to. I'm like, to me, that was weird. But again, everybody has different experiences. We should have these conversations. I didn't want to trigger my partner by labeling the wrong way, and we didn't have the conversation because I was making an assumption. Who hates assumptions here? And I didn't realize I was doing that because we didn't have that conversation ahead of time. We went to so social event. Okay, so yes, questions now. We're gonna take a little bit of a break because we have like 15. We started a little bit late. So for my Zoom people, feel free to ask questions during the break right now. So we'll take like a 5-minute break for everybody in here, and then we're going to go into the improv part of it. I just made that's an AI thing I made, but some of the words are spelled wrong, but I just thought it was pretty, so I put it in there. This game theory again. We're gonna do some very quick improv. Remember, it's not comedy, this is improvisation. So we're gonna go through some sample, well, we're gonna go through a warm-up and then we'll go through actual sample relationship conversation communication. And I will be coaching. If nobody wants to participate and like one person wants to participate, we can 100% swap it out. But feel free, you be like 2 people at a time if anybody wants to, and I'll swap in if I need to. But I'm here to coach through the whole entire thing. And then if anybody has any specific questions, that would be a great time for that. Not paying attention. But if anybody else has specific questions, that's a great time for that. We will work through those things. So doing the hard skills part of it. All right. Okay. 5-minute break. Zoom people, you got 5 minutes and then we're gonna cut you off.
Yeah, I have the video turned off and just like the worksheet still up on the screen
Okay.
right now.
Do we have time for that? Then?
Yes. Yeah, grab a snack, get a drink. I'm drinking.
Yeah, so I guess one question I would have is like I guess what is the would there be good arguments for having nesting partners yeah, because I don't really know if my vision for romance would include at least not one partner, and this is kind of why I still lean towards monogamy is because I do want to share a living space with someone, and I do want to have a and I guess I don't really want to rank them as better than other partners, but it feels like it would be kind of hard because that's the person that you're living with, and and that comes with sharing a special space and whatnot with them. So how do you navigate that in polyamory?
So having a conversation. Have you heard of this term? It's like memeable now, bedroom divorce.
Bedroom divorce?
Yeah.
I think so. So yeah, where they're still technically together, but they're not sharing a bed.
This is married couples too. So there's married couples 10 years in and they have a bedroom divorce. Whereas like, oh, this so-and-so partner snores too much. So I'm actually going to be in a bedroom down the hall when we go to sleep. So we do our finagling, yeah, all of this business. And then after we cuddle for a little bit, but when we go to sleep, we're going to move down the hallway. So my argument with that as an example is you can negotiate anything. There's married couples that have 2 separate houses, like right next to each other. And then they've been married for decades. So that's 100% of the thing. So specifically, because you asked a multi-part question there, is with nesting partners, monogamous, non-monogamous. Either way, you can choose what you want.
Yeah.
Because then you can, at that point, you can be nesting with each other, but still have separate finances or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how would it feel to the other partners that you have? Well, and I guess if my polyamory circle included people who also had nesting partners, I guess that might take the sting off a bit.
My first question to you is, are you assuming that your partners want to live with you? How do your partners feel about nesting?
Oh, well, yeah, this is why I'm still uncertain about polyamory because I haven't had that conversation with them. Like I don't really have like anyone that I'm partnered with like at all right now.
Okay.
So like it's still like just something I'm thinking of like ahead of time. Maybe I'm thinking too far ahead.
I mean, I'm an overthinker too, so this is why I have these conversations, but I 100% have that conversation with partners every single time. Do
Okay.
you plan on having kids? This is like on a first date.
Oh, yeah.
Do you plan on living with it? Do you plan on living with anybody else? Do you plan on getting married? I have all these conversations with people. Most times, just because I usually find partners on FetLife, is that they don't want any of that stuff. My last girlfriend, she didn't want to live with anybody. She'd been married like 2 times. So that took that whole conversation right out of there. I'm like, all right, we're already on the same page. She didn't want to live with anybody again. So my first question to you is why you haven't had those conversations with anybody? Not so much you haven't been in a relationship, but I'm just saying in the past or anything. That's a very rhetorical question, but it's like, why not have those conversations with people? Again, I put that on my dating profile. So that's the first thing people see. No kids, no shared finances, no nesting. So yeah, very good question, very introspective question. A few more minutes. There are no questions from the chat? All right, since we don't have too much time. We're being disrupted to my class, so we're having a very serious discussion right now. I guess you can turn off the Zoom. There's been like 5 minutes, no questions or anything.
Yeah, I gave another nudge for questions.
Right.
I'll give you guys just one more minute, till 6:20. And then we're gonna be disconnecting here. If you'd like a video of the class, just I guess shoot us a message after.
If you see me here, feel free to ask questions whenever.
Yeah.
Unless I'm teaching, Phil. I'm gonna pull it. I wonder how loud this.
Are you okay people reach out to you directly on FetLife?
Yes, it's HH_Julius. I did comment on the event comment, so they can message me, friend me, follow me, all that kind of stuff. But come check out an improv show. Litigation, which will go through the improv and stuff like that, but yeah, that's what take out, it's pretty much just going over the tenets of relationship anarchy. And why it relates to having communication in the first place, and then I talked about like why improv connects to it. But we're actually gonna do the actual improv part of it, so you guys are just like jumping in cold, then it won't up. Cameras off. All right, so for those new to improv, we're just gonna go through a very quick class. So we're just gonna do the actual warm up for improv, and then we're gonna deviate to more improvisation and actual practice in our relationship and communication skills. So with everybody go ahead and stand up. Cameras off and everything. Our favorite shape in all of improv and pretty much all of acting is a circle. Go ahead and circle up.